Hey guys, it's Kajal. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I talk about all things career, personal finance, and productivity. And today we're going to be talking about salary, how much money we make as consultants here in the UK. And I am honestly shocked when I read the statistics and we're breaking it down by salary, by bonus, by type of consulting, and even by seniority. So things are gonna get juicy. And this video is gonna be helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And in return, here's a cute baby puppy. So consultancy.uk analyzed over 35,000 salaries, and to be honest, I'm not sure if I agree with some of these figures. But just before we go into it, I'm going to break down the demographics of those candidates, and I've got them here. 28% were directors, 41% were managers, 27% were associates, and 4% were analysts. So just keep that in mind as you go along. Now, let's start with the base salary. So junior level analysts, consultants, and that's around 1,400 people who responded. And from that, on average, people were earning between £40,000 to £50,000. And that honestly seems so much higher than I thought you would earn as a 1 year or 2 year analyst. Definitely much higher than what Big Four pays you. And it sounds about right for potentially you earn at MBB, but very surprised that small consultancies are paying this much. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision if you're going to choose a boutique or a big firm. Now, at associate level, consultant level, that's around 3 to 4 years of experience. You're earning around £52,000 to £59,000, which sounds about right. At manager level, you have around 6 to 9 years of experience, and you're earning around on average £64,000 to £74,000. And at director level, at VP level, you then are beginning to earn £79,000 to £106,000 on average. And don't forget, this is all base salary. Now, the jump is massive when you get to partner level, and you have two types of partners. You have equity partners and non-equity partners, and equity partners basically have a stake in the business. So the profits at the end of the year, they will get a certain percentage of it. So you can imagine how high that is. Now, according to an FT article, McKinsey partners got a total compensation with that equity partners of £1 million in a year, and of Deloitte partners, £800,000 a year, which I would be more than happy with. There is also another type of grading when you get to partner level. So don't feel that, you get to partner and you make it. You kind of have to do, it's like a whole nother game of itself, to be honest. The type of consulting and what firm you go to definitely do also play a big difference in terms of how much base salary, how much compensation you will get. So let's look at the type of firm first, and then we'll look into the type of consulting. So if you're working at MBB, you definitely do earn a lot more money than you would in other firms, and you definitely do start out at the same salary as someone in a strategy house like Oliver Wyman, like Eddie K. But my friends, there is a 30% difference in the amount of money you are making between a management consultancy and going to a management consultancy versus going to MBB when you start out. And that definitely does hurt. I'm not going to lie. Management consultancies, by the way, include Big Four, mid-sized consultancies, small consultancies as well. So they're all mixed together and being named as management consultancies in this report. And honestly, the more you progress, there still is a difference. I thought it would have kind of fared out, but really there is a 20% difference when you do move up higher compared to an MBB firm versus a management consultancy. So if you are thinking about the long-term end goal, being in consulting and salary and money is a big thing to you, 20% is a hell of a lot. And at each of these firms, the type of consulting really does make a difference. And we're going to go into this now. So for some reason, the report didn't really specifically call out technology consultants, but I do think, or I'm making a hunch, that is under general management consultants. They also have strategy consultants. They've also done it by PMO consultants, by operations, and by corporate or business development. As an analyst, you roughly are earning the same amount. And according to this report, the average basic salary of a general management consultant is higher than a strategy consultant, which is quite interesting because I thought that you would have earned more as a strategy consultant starting out. You definitely do earn more later on in the career of a strategy consultant. So as an associate, and that's again 3 to 4 years, it's very similar. Associate strategy consultants are starting to earn a little bit more, around £5,000 difference. And then when you get to manager level, that's when you can begin to see the split. There's around £10,000 difference between someone doing operations versus someone doing strategy. And it's definitely like gets higher between like a £20,000 difference between someone doing operations versus someone doing strategy. So you can see that the type of consulting you choose definitely does play an impact. But what about bonuses? Now, consultants don't only get salaries, we get bonuses. Some consultancies offer a sign-on bonus, but we are just talking about the bonus you get annually every year that the company will pay out. Now, I'm not going to lie, we hear about £65,000 bonuses, £100,000 bonuses in banking. That is not going to be the case in consulting. Now, you can see at this report, bonuses in consulting are okay. So when you get to associate or consultant level, the base pay accounts for 83%, which means that the bonus you're getting is 12%. At director or vice president, that bonus amount jumps to 20% of your total compensation package. But you definitely do get bigger bonuses if you work for a VC, if you work for PE, or if you're in banking once again. You definitely do get paid a higher salary in a consulting firm compared to a startup or corporate. But don't forget that sometimes startups, corporate firms, they pay you equity, and that equity may pay out more than a bonus ever would. So have these decisions in the back of your mind. But don't also forget UK taxes. UK taxes are a killer. So you want to strategically choose which band you want to be in. Okay, we are racing through this, and let's go on to now leaving consulting and what pays more, industry or being in consulting. Overall, leaving consulting doesn't really affect your total compensation package. And this was surprising because I thought you definitely earned much more in industry than you would in consulting. I've always heard that when you leave a job, you can always negotiate around a 20% increase max from consulting when you go into industry. And when you look at this, there's hardly any difference between an analyst pay or a manager pay. And I really thought you could negotiate much higher. So that's a little bit of a downer. But you can also have a think about, the work-life balance in industry versus consulting, and the amount of money you get paid for is probably worth it in industry and probably not worth it in consulting. But that's my opinion. Now, around 1/5 of consultants in the UK are actually working independently, and that means they're not employed, but they basically just charge fees to a client and they get paid a day rate typically. An independent consultant working as a consultant grade, as an associate grade, can earn from £540 on average a day, and definitely goes to over £1,000 for a director, even £3,000 plus for directors per day. Now, this is very, very dependent on your expertise and your background, so I wouldn't use these statistics to honestly compare. It's all dependent on how many years, your background, and so forth. So if you really do want to know, I would speak to a few headhunters and ask them typically what they're seeing with someone with your background, with your expertise is earning, and that's probably a much better gauge to understand versus using this report that we have here. Don't forget that freelance consultants definitely do provide a discount on how much they're getting paid, and that might be because of how long the project is. If it's a long project, they will give a discount because they know that they definitely have work and they're not looking for work. Another one is if they're interested in the project, or even if the client doesn't have enough budget. So this was a very snappy insight into how much money consultants make in the UK. And if you are as surprised as I was, please make sure that you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button for more content like this, and I will see you in another video. And in the meantime, check these videos out.